5 minutes. That's how long it takes to charge a BYD from 10 to 70%. Not on some prototype charger in a lab. On a production vehicle, at a public station, using 1500 kilowatts of power. 3 times faster than Tesla's most advanced supercharger. On March 5, 2026, BYD chairman Wang Chuanfu walked onto a stage at the company's global headquarters in Shenzhen and did something that no automaker has ever done before. He announced a battery that charges to 97% in 9 minutes. A battery that works at negative 30 degrees Celsius with only 3 minutes of penalty compared to room temperature. A battery that passed a nail penetration test, the most brutal safety test in the industry, while flash charging at full power. No thermal runaway, no fire. And then he announced the deployment of 20,000 megawatt level charging stations across China by the end of the year. Enough to put 90% of urban China within 5 kilometers of a 1500 kilowatt plug. In that same quarter, Tesla deliveries dropped 9%. BYD overtook Tesla as the world's largest seller of battery electric vehicles. And Elon Musk told investors that Tesla's future isn't really about cars anymore. This is the story of the biggest power shift in automotive history since Henry Ford's assembly line. Let's break it all down. The announcement, Blade Battery 2.0. The event BYD held on March 5th wasn't a product launch. It was a declaration. Wang Chuanfu and his engineering team unveiled 2 technologies simultaneously, the second generation of the Blade battery and the flash charging 2.0 system. Wang framed the announcement as the end of range anxiety, not through bigger batteries, but through charging so fast that the concept of waiting becomes irrelevant. Here are the numbers. 10 to 70% state of charge in 5 minutes. That adds roughly 2 kilometers of range every single second you're plugged in. 10 to 97% in 9 minutes. At negative 30 degrees Celsius, the kind of cold that kills lithium-ion batteries, the system charges from 20 to 97% in 12 minutes, only 3 minutes slower than room temperature. The peak charging power, 1500 kilowatts. To put that in perspective, Tesla's V4 supercharger, the fastest charger Tesla has ever built, peaks at 500 kilowatts. BYD is delivering 3 times that power to a production vehicle. Wang told the audience, "Our core competitiveness remains rooted in technology. By resolving the trade-off between energy density and ultra-fast charging, we are making the electric transition inevitable even in the coldest regions of the world." And then came the infrastructure play, the flash charging China strategy. 20,000 megawatt level stations by the end of 2026. Positioned so that 90% of urban China is within 5 kilometers of a 1500 kilowatt plug. How it actually works, the engineering. So how do you push 1500 kilowatts into a battery without it exploding? To appreciate what BYD has done, you need to understand the fundamental trade-off that has defined battery engineering for the past 2 decades. Speed versus safety. The faster you charge a lithium-ion cell, the more heat you generate, and the closer you get to thermal runaway. The point where the cell's internal chemistry becomes self-sustaining and the battery ignites. Every battery manufacturer in the world has been constrained by this physics. Until now. The original Blade battery used lithium iron phosphate, LFP, which is inherently safe but limited in energy density. Blade Battery 2.0 introduces manganese into the cathode, creating what's called LMFP, lithium manganese iron phosphate. Standard LFP operates at about 3.2 volts. By adding manganese, BYD raised the voltage platform to 3.8 volts. That single change enables a 15 to 20% increase in energy density while maintaining the thermal stability that makes LFP chemistry almost impossible to ignite. But the real breakthrough is on the anode side. To handle megawatt charging speeds, BYD rebuilt the anode using a silicon-carbon composite. Silicon can store far more lithium ions than traditional graphite, but it has a fatal flaw. It expands up to 400% during charging, which historically destroyed the electrode structure within a few hundred cycles. BYD solved this through nanonization, shrinking the silicon particles so small that their expansion is managed at the atomic level, and a self-repairing solid electrolyte layer that flexes with the particles instead of cracking. They also align the anode particles perpendicular to the electrode plane, creating what they call ultra-fast ion channels that cut lithium transport resistance by 50%. And then there's the cooling. BYD's cell-to-body 2.0 architecture integrates the battery cells directly into the vehicle's structural frame. No modules, no separate pack, increasing space utilization from 50 to 76%. A direct refrigerant 3D cooling system boosts heat transfer efficiency by 90%, allowing the battery to absorb 1500 amps of current without thermal runaway. That's not a software trick. That's mechanical engineering at the molecular level. The hybrid that kills gasoline. While the Blade Battery 2.0 targets the pure electric market, BYD is simultaneously destroying the economics of traditional gasoline vehicles with its fifth-generation hybrid system. The DM 5.0 uses a 1.5-liter engine running an extreme Atkinson cycle at a 16:1 compression ratio. The result? 46% thermal efficiency. For context, the theoretical maximum for any internal combustion engine is governed by thermodynamics. Most production engines cap out at 30 to 35%. BYD is operating 13 percentage points above the industry average. The practical numbers are even more devastating. The 2026 Seal 05 DMI achieves 2.6 liters per 100 kilometers in hybrid mode, a 10% improvement over the previous generation, delivered via a software update to existing vehicles. 2,110 kilometers of total combined range, 210 kilometers of pure electric range, and the starting price? 79,800 yuan. That's $11,200. Wang Chuanfu doesn't frame this as a bridge technology. He calls it a fuel consumption destroying system that makes traditional internal combustion vehicles increasingly burdensome for consumers. When your hybrid gets better fuel economy than most motorcycles, the math for buying a gas-only car stops making sense. Mid-roll CTA. If you're finding this breakdown valuable, hit subscribe. We cover the biggest shifts in automotive engineering and technology every single week, the stuff that actually explains where the industry is headed. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. The Tesla problem. The numbers don't lie. Now let's look at what's happening on the other side. In 2025, BYD sold approximately 2.26 million battery electric vehicles, a 28% year-over-year increase. During the same period, Tesla deliveries fell to 1.64 million units, a 9% decline. For the first time in a full calendar year, BYD officially surpassed Tesla in pure EV sales, not just total vehicles including hybrids, pure electric. In Europe, the trend accelerated. By February 2026, BYD registered nearly 18,000 units, narrowly surpassing Tesla for the second consecutive month. The competitive pressure is no longer confined to China. The price war tells an even starker story. In China, the BYD Seal EV starts at 175,800 yuan, about $24,500. The Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive starts at 231,900 yuan, about $32,300. That's a $7,800 gap for comparable vehicles, and BYD offers a hybrid sedan, the Seal 05 DMI, for $11,200. Tesla has no hybrid and no vehicle anywhere near that price point. Tesla's response has been what analysts call an extremely hardcore pivot. On the Q4 2025 earnings call, Musk told investors that in the long term, the only vehicles Tesla will make are autonomous vehicles. The long-awaited $25,000 affordable Tesla appears to have been sacrificed for the Cybercab robo-taxi program. In April 2024, Musk reportedly directed the entire company to go all in on robo-taxi. And by early 2026, reports suggest that any affordable models will be stripped-down derivatives of the existing Model 3 and Model Y rather than a ground-up new platform. In February 2026, Musk announced that full self-driving will move exclusively to a monthly subscription model, ending the one-time purchase option. A move designed to create recurring revenue from software as hardware margins continue to compress. On the battery front, Tesla has made real progress with its 4680 cells. The dry electrode process is now working on both anode and cathode, and Tesla-produced cells have become its lowest cost per kilowatt hour. cheaper than what it pays external suppliers like LG and Panasonic. Tesla has recommenced building Model Y packs with these internal cells to claw back margins. But the gap in charging speed, 500 kilowatts versus 1500, and manufacturing scale remains enormous. BYD produced 4.6 million vehicles in 2025. Tesla produced 1.64 million. The global shockwave. The ripple effects of BYD's announcement are reshaping the entire industry. In China, NIO, which invested over $2.5 billion building the world's largest battery swapping network, now faces an existential question. Their core value proposition was a 3-minute battery swap. You drive in, a robot removes your depleted pack and installs a fresh one, and you're gone. It's elegant. But BYD just made a 5-minute charge possible at a fraction of the infrastructure cost. BYD's stations use a station-within-a-station model that taps into existing grid connections with small 200 to 300 kilowatt-hour storage buffers. No massive robotic swap bays, no proprietary battery formats, no billion-dollar network build-out. A swapping cartel has formed between NIO, CATL, and Geely to standardize swap blocks and share costs, while competitors like Chery and Goshen are hedging by partnering directly with BYD on flash charging infrastructure instead. In the West, something unexpected happened. As Chinese EV subsidies expired in late 2025, consumers shifted back toward value vehicles. Volkswagen reclaimed the #1 sales spot in China in January and February 2026 with nearly 14% market share. Toyota regained ground with its strong hybrid strategy. BYD actually dropped to 4th place in overall Chinese sales during the first 2 months of 2026, a 35% year-over-year decline, as it cleared older inventory ahead of the Blade 2.0 model rollout. That dip is temporary, but it shows how fast the market can shift. To circumvent tariffs, 100% in the US, up to 45% in the EU, BYD is building a global manufacturing empire. A factory in Szeged, Hungary began trial production in January 2026, targeting 200,000 to 300,000 units per year. A plant in Bahia, Brazil reaches full production in July 2026. Thailand has been operational since mid-2024 at 150,000 units. Turkey opens late 2026, leveraging its customs union with Europe to bypass EU tariffs entirely. BYD's overseas sales target for 2026 is 1.5 to 1.6 million units. The bigger picture: 2 futures, 1 industry. So is this the end of Tesla? No. But it is the end of Tesla as we knew it. What we're watching is the automotive industry splitting into 2 distinct models that may never converge. The BYD model is hardware mastery. Vertical integration so deep that they produce 80% of their vehicle components in-house through subsidiaries like FinDreams Battery and BYD Semiconductor. Batteries, motors, power chips, dashboard electronics, all under one roof. When the battery team develops a 10C charging cell, the semiconductor team simultaneously designs the 1000-volt power electronics to handle the current, and the vehicle team adjusts the structural frame to accommodate the cooling channels. That kind of cross-division coordination is impossible when you're sourcing batteries from Panasonic, chips from Qualcomm, and motors from a third-party supplier. It's also what allows BYD to produce an $11,000 hybrid with 2,000 kilometers of range and still turn a profit. Their 2026 production target, 5.39 million vehicles. For comparison, Tesla produced 1.64 million in 2025, and that number was shrinking. The Tesla model is intelligence as a service. By stepping back from the sub-$25,000 hardware race, Musk is betting that by 2030, the value of a car will be 80% software and 20% hardware. The $25 to $50 billion Terafab AI chip factory isn't about cars. It's about building the compute infrastructure for millions of robo-taxis that BYD's lower-tech fleet cannot match. The climate implications cut both ways. Some advocates worry that BYD's ultra-efficient hybrids will delay pure EV adoption. But the math says otherwise. A 2.6-liter per 100-kilometer hybrid replacing an 8 to 10-liter gasoline vehicle is a massive emissions reduction happening at scale right now. Bloomberg Neff predicts road transport oil demand will peak in 2029, driven as much by hybrid efficiency as by battery electric growth. By 2030, analysts at Morgan Stanley and UBS predict the market will have split into two automotive zones. One dominated by Chinese manufacturers led by BYD, providing mass-market hardware to Europe, Asia, and Latin America. The other, a high-margin autonomous zone led by Tesla in North America and premium markets. For the first time since the invention of the assembly line, the center of gravity in the automotive world has shifted. The driven vehicle and the fuel-inefficient engine are heading for extinction, replaced by a global fleet that is either too efficient to ignore or too intelligent to require a driver. If this is the kind of deep dive you want more of, the technology, the business strategy, and the numbers behind the biggest shifts in the world, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. I'll see you in the next one.